I'd known it for a little bit. You make compromises when you do either, but to me, I would rather let Will be down there by himself and try and orchestrate things up top so we can get adjustments done faster and see when things really happen, what was really behind a mistake, so that we have the right answer.
Did you start out down on the field because being a new coach with new players, you want to make sure you could communicate to them face to face, or was that just your plan all along and decided to change?
No, it was a change after last week. Part of it was, you don't know, just you're limited by headsets and stuff like that in this league, and so who communicates with the quarterback and who can do that stuff, and then being down there and being on the pulse of your players and making sure you feel the emotions and just understanding what's going on. So there's benefits to being down there, but it is much harder to call the game. And I'm not going to lie, last week against Tennessee, there were 2 or 3 things that happened in the first half that were not exactly what really happened, what we thought happened, and that stuff will get to you, and it was a trade-off, and so the choice was to go upstairs.
How pleased were you with that last drive after a bunch of drives where you all were frustrated, didn't take advantage of short fields, to go out and do that even after the first touchdown called back?
I was. I mean, it's an emotional game, and Coach hit it. My personal opinion, that is a very, very, very good defense, and they're very well coached, and they got some really good players, and they stymied a lot of people this year. I mean, in the last few games in the SEC, they've played some really good football. And so, they did stymie us. We made some mistakes, and we have to do a better job in some areas for sure, and the sacks are a huge issue and all that stuff. But I'm happy for the young players who stepped up. We got some of those freshmen, they're no-flinch guys, and they're our future. They're really talented, but they got real... they rebounded. I was so happy for Dane. Dane, this was a big game for him to step forward after last week, and I was really proud of the way he played, and he's a competitor. He's a really good player. And you mentioned Dingle and Caddis and Barion. Those guys are incredibly talented, and then when we needed them most, they stepped up.
How did you think Will responded this week?
The guy's banged up, man. I'm just proud of him. It's just not easy. He's probably got more going on than people realize, and so it's he's tough as shit. Sorry for that, but it's the reality of it. He is tough, and he is fighting through some serious stuff, and I am proud of him, and I appreciate him, and I value that because that's honestly, what Coach said. It's like playing in the NFL. It's the same type of speed in the pocket. So you got to be ready to stand in there, and I'm proud of him for it.
Ask you the same question I asked Mark. In your experience, what can it do for a team to have a game like this with a lot of stuff that went wrong, but some things that went right, to be able to pull out the win?
Quite honestly, I think it's a credit to Coach. I think he's built a culture of toughness and not going to give in, and it's kind of how Coach is, and it's kind of the persona of the team, and they do have grit and fight, and you can't flinch in those situations. It could have gone either way for either team in a couple different times. And some of it's self-inflicted, some of it is them making plays, some of it is us. And I just like that we stood in there, that we called a pass on the very first play, and we executed it perfectly and blocked for Will, and Dane caught a big play. The fact that we called a screen for a touchdown and got called back, and it's like we're going to now be in a tie situation, have to kick a field goal and leave it up to that, and we overcame it on third down when we needed it. It was a big play by Dane and a big time throw by Will. So I'm proud of those guys, and I think they have what it takes, and we got to build on that for the rest of the season and the future moving forward.
Anything stand out from up top about the sacks? Was Will holding it too long? Was it?
It was a combination of things. I'm not going to pin it on anyone at this point. We got to watch the film, but I will say this, of the sacks, I think that a couple were on Will and a couple were on the O-line. And maybe a couple were on the play calls. You can always put it on that stuff, but I felt like there was a couple that were there that we had, and something didn't go right, and we probably, could have gone off schedule and made a play or checked it down. But again, it's hard because he's not practicing full speed all week, and I feel bad in that regard. It's not easy for him on game day. So, but there's no excuses. We got to do a better job.
Being up top, you think that's going to be the plan for you going forward?
Yes.
Okay.
Without question.
Are you someone previously that you had normally been on the field? Is this the first time you've really coached?
No, I mean, like in Denver when I was a coordinator, or in college, most of my career calling, I was always upstairs. This was only the third year I'd ever been down on the field as a play caller. You do it for various reasons, but yeah, I don't want to say that was a reason we didn't win a game or anything like that. I just know that it helps me be more effective for the players and the coaches up there, and I can call a much cleaner game, you know. And I think going forward it will help.
Is that an underrated thing? The communication of not only be able to see things upstairs, but get it communicated correctly to people downstairs, to get it communicated correctly to the players.
We don't have, you know, NFL, every time you come in, you look at your surface and you look at pictures, you know, and you know exactly what happened. There's no question. It's so much easier. So much easier. And you can talk to your quarterback in the helmet and get corrections. It's so much easier. It's a lot harder in college. It's just one of those things that you don't realize. And so I can see with my own eyes as a play caller and help get the right information to the right people. That's one part of it. Plus, it's nice taking the emotion out of it. When you're on the sidelines and the crowd and all that, that can affect things too. And you can get caught up as a play caller in that emotion. Up there, you kind of remove that and you're able to get your thoughts clear and plan things out and hopefully execute.
So you weren't just cold?
You know, we joked before that. I said, who knew it was going to be cold today? Just pick the right day. No, trust me, I had no idea it was going to be cold, but it was nice to be up there.
Thanks, Coach.
Thank you for breaking that tackle to get the touchdown.
Yeah, I mean, we thought that we would have the possibility of getting two-man in that situation, 3rd and long, and he did a great job of breaking his dude off, and the safety stayed high enough where I had to throw, and I actually didn't make that great of a throw, and there was enough separation to where it worked out, but he did a good job of just catching the ball and then making 2 guys miss, and playmakers got to make plays like that in big-time situations like that, and he stepped up for sure.
Just what's the confidence level going into that last drive on what had been kind of a frustrating afternoon?
Yeah, I mean, it's just, confidence level is up all day. It's just a matter of just doing our job and having confidence that we're going to go get the job done, which we did. It was great to get good field position starting off with the kick, and we just strung together some good plays in a row, and just really glad we were able to pull it off.
How big was it to get a touchdown that first drive? You guys have been struggling early, but it clicked there.
It was huge to start fast, and that was one of the bigger points of emphasis this week is starting fast and bringing our own energy. And I thought we obviously started fast, and then I thought we did a great job of bringing our energy all day today and just feeding off of each other when in an early game and away environment like this. And really, really glad how we showed up in that regard.
Coach Scangarello said that you're just not really able to practice full speed at this point. I know you don't want to make excuses, but how does that affect you going into a game?
Not much. I mean, I'm practicing just as if I was practicing before, just kind of a little dialed back. But I mean, I'm still making all the reads and I'm still getting all the reps. So not too much. Definitely some 3rd downs today where I wish I could have back. And if I could have just trusted what I saw and progressed and made the throw, I was getting a little antsy there, some of those 3rd downs. And just that's one thing I need to get better at.
How was it different with Rich in the press box?
It was cool. I mean, I don't really care.
Coach's box.
I don't really mind. I don't need someone like in my face. I don't need someone. I don't like when he's up there or one way or the other. So it's whatever makes him more comfortable.
So when he's up there, who's communicating to you down below?
CJ Conrad was the main source of communication between him and me. Like who would usually be telling me the stuff before we go out on the field. He was the guy for that. And it was great. All the communication from up top and below today was solid.
Well, I know we're not games in the season, but Coach Stoops said he didn't think that anyone really understands how beat up you are. I mean, how far are you from 100% right now?
I don't know. I mean, I'd say like 75%. We'll see how I feel tomorrow.
Yeah.
But, no, I mean, I think it's just with my mobility and mostly, that's the one thing that's kind of, I feel like has been affected. And it's hard for me to just to have you have to, even if you're hurt, have the same mindset that you're going to play the same way as if you're not hurt. And it's hard to kind of block that out and act that way. But I think I've handled myself well, and I've been trusting the trainers, and we just got to keep stacking wins.
What can a win like this do for you guys coming off that Tennessee loss? Not everything went great today, but you still were able to pull out the win. Yeah,
it's for one. I mean, I had to remind myself halfway through celebrating there that we're bowl eligible now, which is really cool. You can never take that for granted, and we're happy to be there. A little later than we would have wanted to, but I mean, 6 wins is a big accomplishment. We know we have higher goals than that, and we play a good Vanderbilt team who gave this team a really, really good game. So we know that we're going to have to bring our A game to win that one. It's going to be good to be back at home, and gotta win it for us. We gotta win, and that'll help our confidence a lot, I think.
What kind of weapon has Jordan Dingle developed into you?
He's so smart, and he works his tail off, and his attitude is as good as anyone else's on the team. Very quiet, doesn't say anything unless it's positive or adding to what's being said at the moment. And he's established himself as the premier tight end on our team right now, and I think that's been pretty evident in these last few weeks. And you just got.
Just talk about that final drive when you all scored and punched it in to get the win. What was the mindset? What was the huddle like on that drive?
We knew we had to do. We had to score. I mean, you're down. There's not a lot of time left. Coach was like, "Yo, we go punch it in." And, we did. We knew we had to lean on our receivers a little bit this week, and as you can tell, Will and the receivers, they connected a lot.
Were you nervous during the replay review, or did you know?
No, I knew. I knew.
How big was it to get a fast start with the offense in the first quarter? You guys have struggled in that area a little bit lately.
Yeah, it was big. We kind of harped on that all week. Like, me and Will said it all week. Like, we're tired of starting slow. Like, we watched them against Georgia, obviously, and they came out and had a fast start. They were up on Georgia, I think 14-0. So we knew we had to come out fast. They're home. You feel me? So we knew we had to come out fast. So we got it done. Good.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Yeah. How y'all doing?
Good. Can you just talk about the touchdown, the route, and then breaking the tackle?
I was just thinking in my head that we need to make a play right here. And when I got the ball in my hands, that's the only thing that was going through my head, make a play. So that's what I went and did, make a play.
The season started so well for you. It had been a while since you'd been in the end zone. What were you telling yourself over the last few weeks?
I was just telling myself, just stay hungry. Let's keep working. No matter if I score or not, let's just keep getting. Let's just win. Let's just go out and, compete to the best of our abilities, the whole team, and especially mine, and go out there. When the ball comes to me, make a play. And even if the ball don't come to me, go out there and block how I need to.
How big was it to get off to the fast start? You obviously scored the first touchdown and were able to get points early this one.
It was a great start. Getting in the end zone, but the first touchdown. It was just awesome to get in there and just get the momentum going. It felt good, and the whole team. It felt good for somebody just to get in the end zone.
What does it mean to you that no freshman in this program has ever caught more touchdowns than you have?
Oh, it's awesome. I just want to just keep go out there and keep playing. It's cool to have my name right there, but I just want to go out there each week and just keep playing how I should play.
How motivating for the offense is it that Will's kind of out there playing 75%, you said, and keeping you guys going?
Oh, it's awesome. I think Will's one of the toughest quarterbacks I've ever played with. He's definitely the toughest quarterback I've ever played with, and I know he'll probably, even in the future, he'll be the toughest quarterback I ever played with. So, just staying with Will and him going out there each and every week, I know I see him banged up sometimes, and just to see him get up, it just makes everybody want to go out there and just keep playing for how tough he is and, just be tough for the whole team.
Did you all feel like you had something to prove as an offense on that last drive? It had not gone very well for you for most.
We definitely felt like we had something to prove. We've had something to prove all year. Just going out there and just proving what we know how to do, what we've seen all camp, all summer, all practice. We just go out there and we have something to prove every week, and we're getting ready to start, proving our point.